Dude, where's Derek Carr is next on the grading block. Grab Nick Chubb in the first round, then James Conner in the third round, Jordan Howard in the eighth, Tevin Coleman in the 10th, which I think is great value. Then Jerick McKinnon in the 15th because it's San Francisco. They run the ball well, and they paid him a lot of money at one point to come in there. So worth a gamble. Maybe not taking a gamble on two guys on the same backfield, but when it's the San Francisco backfield and they are just making fantasy points like crazy, it's worth taking a shot on them. Then you look at wide receiver wise, Metcalf, Landry, Marvin Jones, Sterling Shepard, Rashard Perriman. Perriman's kind of injured right now, but you're not using him for week one. Metcalf as your number one. I mean, this guy has the potential to be fantastic, but he also has the potential to not be much of anything. I wouldn't really feel comfortable with him as my number one wide receiver. Jarvis Landry is a PPR guy, so you're going to have consistency there. Probably around 1,000 yards, probably around 100 catches, maybe 5 touchdowns. Then Marvin Jones is a quiet guy that always seems to do well. When he's not hurt, he wins a lot of 50-50 balls. He scores a lot of points, but it's very inconsistent. So you're not going to really know when it's coming from. And then Sterling Shepard, he could, once again, we've had this conversation a few times, he could be the number one wide receiver for the Giants, but it's between him, Golden Tate, and the rookie, Slayton, and second year now. So it's a crapshoot. But Sterling's been there a while, and he really hasn't ever broken out. So I think he's just a guy. I mean, he's a guy you can play, but he's still just a guy. You went for it. You drafted Patrick Mahomes in the second round. Dude's a stud in a league that gives you a 5-point bonus for throwing for 300 yards. He's gonna be the guy. As long as he stays healthy, that offense is gonna do well. He was looking fantastic before he got hurt last year. Then they won the Super Bowl, and he's just coming in to do it again. They didn't really lose any of their parts of their offense. They upgraded their running back, if anything. It's Patrick Mahomes. What do you need to say? Ryan Tannehill as a backup. Not bad. I mean, he played great last year, but you're never going to need him except for 1 week. So, oh well. And then Zach Ertz in the fourth round. Tight end premium is important when it comes to leagues like this, where there's only really 3 or 4 that end up being worth the draft value. Zach Ertz in the fourth round, I think, is a great value because who are they going to throw to? Ashwan's injured. Jalen Rager's injured. Deshaun Jackson is old. That's kind of it. They don't have anybody. So at least early in the season, Zach Ertz is going to be extremely valuable for that team. And then Greg Olsen to Seattle. Who knows how he'll do. But like I said, you don't really need him. You got Ertz. And then Justin Tucker in the 12th round. A little early for a kicker, but, if you want that guy, cool. Baltimore Ravens defense, they are great. Their offense runs the ball, so the time runs out faster, and they don't have as many points scored against them. Overall, it's a strong running back team with Nick Chubb, and if James Conner plays well, if James Conner has James Conner from last year, this running back team is going to be tough. Jordan Howard is an okay guy on a not great team. Tevin Coleman splitting time. Jerick McKinnon we're wondering if he'll see the field. And then, you're like, well, okay, there's some questions there, but then you got some studs at wide receiver. Yeah, there's some question marks there. This is definitely a team you can tell that when taking Patrick Mahomes early and taking Zach Ertz early has hurt some of their middle round depth at wide receiver, especially. James Conner is a risk guy. Maybe there should have been a Chris Carson, somebody that doesn't have as much of an injury bug on him. But if James Conner hits like he did 2 years ago, if he stays healthy and he has Big Ben, this team could be great. But I'm on the side that's not sure if that's going to happen. Overall, it's got Patrick Mahomes, and the team to me would be a C plus if it didn't have Patrick Mahomes. But because it has Mahomes, I'm going to give it a B minus. And that's a lot on the James Conner question marks and the wide receivers that you have. Nobody on your wide receiver list went for 1,000 yards last year. You would think that you might have one. I get it. There's a lot of upside, but the upside also means question marks. So overall, B minus. Patty Mahomes is gonna take care of some business. He's gonna win a lot of games for you. The question is that some of these people, get into the role that you think that they're going to be worth, and they might. But there's the risk factor is what's keeping it from being a higher score.